Today, we're diving into a really fundamental shift in how we build software. We're talking about the moment AI stops being just a tool and starts becoming a true teammate, specifically in the code review process. And trust me, it is changing absolutely everything. So, if you're a developer, you know this feeling. You've worked hard, you finally submit that pull request, and then you wait. Code review is, of course, absolutely critical, but let's be honest, it's famous for being the biggest bottleneck in the whole development cycle. So what if we could just break that bottleneck for good? Yeah, let's get real about the problem here. As essential as manual code review is, it's a process just filled with friction. It's the one part of the pipeline that's holding back even the most brilliant teams from hitting their full potential. I mean, just think about the strain this puts on a team. Every single line of code needs a human to look at it, and well, humans get tired. That fatigue, that's exactly how those tiny, sneaky bugs slip right into production. And at the same time, your most senior engineers, the ones who should be solving your biggest architectural problems, are burning hours checking for style guides and things like forgotten comments. And as your team grows, trying to keep any of this consistent becomes a total losing battle. Okay, so if the manual process is the bottleneck, automation has to be the answer, right? But we're not talking about simple automation here. We're talking about intelligent automation. This is where AI makes its entrance, not as a replacement, but as a seriously powerful new kind of reviewer on your team. So what does this new AI teammate actually do? Well, think of it as wearing a few different hats at once. It's your quality engineer, finding subtle bugs and suggesting ways to improve performance. It's your security expert, tirelessly scanning for any vulnerabilities. And it's the ultimate enforcer of your team's coding standards with perfect, unwavering consistency. The real magic, though, is that it understands the context of your code, and it's ready to go the second a pull request is opened, 24/7. And look, let's get one thing perfectly straight. AI is not here to do the developer's job. It's here to do the boring parts of the job. By automating all those predictable, repetitive checks, it frees up your human developers to focus on what really requires their genius: the architecture, the complex business logic, and the actual real-world impact of their code. Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But how does it actually work? How can a machine possibly understand the nuance and the intent behind a block of code? Let's take a quick look under the hood. So the process starts out pretty simply, with the AI checking basic things like syntax and structure. But here's where it gets revolutionary. It uses large language models to go way beyond syntax and actually understand the intent of the code, a lot like a human would. Then it compares this new code to your project's existing patterns to see if it, fits in. Based on that deep understanding, it drops helpful suggestions right into the pull request. And maybe best of all, it's a learning system. With every single piece of code your team approves, the AI gets smarter and smarter about your specific way of doing things. So we've seen how it works. Now let's talk about the part that really matters, the real-world payoffs. What does this technology actually mean for your team's speed, for your code's quality, and for your product's security? Let's start with a number that might just blow your mind: 70 to 80%. That is how much of the average code review is made up of those simple, repetitive checks that an AI can just automate. All that time, developers spend arguing about formatting or naming conventions or simple rules. Poof! The AI handles it instantly, giving all that time back to your developers to actually build things. I mean, this right here just captures the entire transformation. On the left, you've got the before, a slow, tangled, inconsistent process that's just begging for human error. And on the right, you have the after, a fast, automated, and totally consistent pipeline. Human error gets minimized, and that huge cognitive load on your senior developers is lifted so they can finally focus on what's truly important. And, maybe the most critical payoff here is security. Seriously, think of the AI as a vigilant 24/7 security guard for your entire codebase. It's trained to spot those devastating vulnerabilities that cause major breaches, things like SQL injection or hard-coded secrets, and it flags them instantly, often before a human reviewer's eyes even see the code. And it really all comes back to this idea of reducing cognitive load. Think of all the mental energy developers waste arguing about trivial things. The nitpicks like missing semicolons, variable names, unused imports. The AI just handles all of that, quieting the noise so developers can stay in a state of flow and focus on solving the real, challenging problems. So this isn't some science fiction far-off dream. This technology is here, right now, today. And it's evolving at an absolutely incredible pace. Let's look at the tools you can start using right away and get a little glimpse of what the near future holds. The ecosystem of tools is already huge. You've got giants like GitHub and Amazon building AI review right into their platforms with Copilot and Code Guru. You have specialized security tools like Sneak's Deep Code, and you have these focused assistants like CodeRabbit that live right inside your workflow. The big takeaway here is that getting started is incredibly easy because these tools are designed to plug right into the systems you're already using. And the vision for the future? Well, that's where things get even more powerful. Imagine a world where simple changes are just approved autonomously by an AI, where the AI doesn't just find a bug, it actually writes the patch to fix it. Imagine an AI agent that knows your entire codebase and can act as a consultant on major architectural decisions. The code review is no longer a gate, it's a continuous, intelligent partner in the entire creation process. So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this core idea. AI isn't replacing developers, it's amplifying them. It is a tool for making developers faster, more efficient, and freeing them to do the creative, human work of solving really hard problems.